Welcome to the Unfiltered Chat. I'm Espresso, and this is.
Green Tea, and welcome you guys to our channel today.
So we're gonna get right into this topic. We're gonna talk about COVID and how it pretty much affected us. Green tea. Do you want to share your experience, or I don't know? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I was out for dinner the other day with some friends, and we were just discussing like just how crazy the last 2 years has been. Now that we're kind of out of that whole situation and reflecting back on just how crazy things got and how people just went along with it, followed whatever the TV told them to do, and like here in Canada, things got pretty crazy. From my experience, it was um, looking back, it just felt like so much pressure at the time to get vaccinated just because everyone else was getting vaccinated. And every day they were counting the number of cases and people were going to get tested. Even if they didn't know what they had, if it was a cold or a flu, they went and got tested for everything. And people were masking up. And this was such a new concept here in North America. We don't normally mask. And suddenly we were being told to mask and wear gloves and use hand sanitizers for everything. Even some people went to the extreme of washing down their groceries.
I
Washing
did
their
that. I did that.
washing their groceries with soap or like wiping down all their groceries with Lysol.
Well, don't forget that we ran out of toilet paper at one point.
There was a toilet paper scare in the beginning, and everyone, the first thing on their mind when the pandemic was called was to go to the grocery store and buy all the buy all the toilet paper.
It's pure panic, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, it was panic, but I still don't understand the psychology of, the world is ending if it was
They were
ending at the
making it
time.
like that.
Yeah. But the first thing people thought was like I have to stock up on toilet paper. That
Fucking
cost
dumb ass people.
like what were some of the things that you did, Espresso, that was like looking back now, you're like, why did I do that? Or why did I go along with that?
It's all like, why did I do that? It's like, this is fucking bullshit. We couldn't even go to a restaurant to eat. Costco and Walmart's fucking packing like so many people into the stores. It was fucking crazy. Like you literally lost all your rights. They basically told you to stay home, and if you left your house, you're gonna get arrested. So I was like, this is pretty much jail. We're all under house arrest. And it was
Yeah.
at that point, I just was very isolated. So it was just a very frustrating time more than anything. I felt very isolated. I couldn't go see my family. My family felt nervous of who came over. And then a lot of people, and then you started seeing divisions between friends and like
Yeah.
how their peers, how their ideas impacted you. And then you're like, oh, can I go see them? And then all the like just a lot of like things that you never had to deal with on a day-to-day basis was like in like literally you had to deal with like, okay, can I go to this place? Do I have a vaccine paper? I gotta show them a record? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's fucking so retarded. I
There
don't know.
was there was so much division, right? Like people
Yeah.
like all of a sudden were like taking sides. You were either wearing a mask, or if you weren't, then you're an anti-masker or you're anti-vaxxer. Like all these names were being thrown out to divide people, right? And people just like they just went along with it. And like people were calling the cops on their neighbors because like, they had too many people over, like, the playgrounds had they were like blocked out. They blocked out the playgrounds for kids. Like kids couldn't even go and play on the playgrounds outside. It was like so extreme
I think, but
that
that's what I don't know. I believe till this day that was all fucking planned. They
Yeah.
knew they were gonna release the stupid virus. They fucking mapped out how who was gonna say what. Trudeau's gonna say this.
Yeah.
Okay, slowly, day by day, you're losing your rights, and it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
fuck, and then it sucked all of everyone's like it. The COVID killed more people than anything, I would say. The fear, people
But
went crazy. Yeah, and it just divided people. It just, I don't
but
know.
I remember like when it was like first hitting the news, people weren't really taking it seriously, right? Like I remember still working in the office at the time, and we're just paying attention to, the cases in China at first, right? First it was like a couple cases, and then it became like thousands of cases, and like we're just following the news, and all of a sudden they're building hospitals in 7 days, and like it started to like escalate to like it started to seem like it was like escalating and it was like a serious thing. And then all of a sudden, I remember being in the office and they're like, okay, from now on, you guys have to work from home and take all your stuff. And we don't know when we're going to be returning back to the office. Like it was so, intense, and people didn't know what to do because like this was the first time that, our generation had to go through something like this, and suddenly people were working from home and they're just like, so I guess this is like a prolonged thing, right? Because first they told us like it's 2 weeks, right? We're just gonna shut down for 2 weeks. That was the slogan, 2 weeks to stop the spread. And then 2 weeks became like months,
Two
and
years.
then yeah, it became 2 years. But like, every time they would like close for a few months and then they would open, and then all of a sudden cases would go up, and then they would close again and then reopen, and like it was like
So shady. Shady government. Why it all closed and open, and I don't know, like I just felt it's a bunch of nonsense, man.
yeah, like what was going through your mind in the beginning? Like did you feel like this was like something serious, or did you think like something was off about this whole situation?
Oh, as soon as it happened, I'm like, yeah, this is some secret society bullshit. They know that they were gonna do this. This is planned. Big company, big pharma is gonna fucking milk it and get more money. Whoever's involved is gonna make money, and everyone else is gonna fucking suffer. We don't care. We're gonna fucking flush this fucking vaccine out. It's not even 5 years of trial and error. We're just gonna let everyone get it, and people die. We're not gonna talk about it, but it's gonna happen. But we're gonna make lots of money. And yeah, and the people who were understanding this saw this, and some people, like, you can see your friends and family following the news and they were scared, so some people, you just, they didn't get it, or depends on how open they are. But if some people are just listening to the government, like, that's what they want you to do, listen to them while they
Yeah.
fucking brainwash you to their nonsense.